Hi everyone, this is student DMD 201 and I want to talk to you today about memory techniques for school. So the purpose of why I'm doing this is that uh, I want to document the use of memory training for school. And the thing is, in high school I did really well. College I did really well. I got great grades in both. When I got to dental school, I got bogged down with so much work. It got really tough and my grades suffered a little bit. Although I still did fine, I would like to have done better. And so these are some of my attempts at dental school, and unfortunately I had to go through a lot of different techniques. So the first technique I tried was flashcards, and unfortunately, too many. I used so many index cards; they would get lost. Despite trying to be as organized as possible, I tried using iPhone apps. I tried using Anki, and nothing really seemed to work. And next thing I did is I tried to outline, which seemed to be successful for me in the past. But again, there's just so much material that my in-depth outlining didn't really seem to help or be effective. Um, the next technique I tried to use was mind mapping. Now this I actually had some success with, but again, as you can see by this giant stack of papers, the same thing happened. I had way too many papers to try to keep track of. I would lose these maps, and it was just too cumbersome to use. So my last two things, I tried to re-listen to lectures and reread and slash speed read, but again, it was boring. Sometimes you can't understand the professor, and I didn't really retain very much with that. So some of the goals and the reason why I wanted to really improve on how I learn was I wanted to have more time to exercise, I wanted to have more time to sleep, and I want to have more time to practice my hand skills, which I think are extremely important in dental school, and I enjoy practicing them more. The news technique I'm trying to use are the memory systems. And what happened was I read a book on memory improvement, How to Improve Your Memory in Just 30 Days by Ron White, and I found this book extremely helpful. Um, and I recommend anyone pick up a book on memory. I thought this was a great step-by-step book. Be warned, there are a few grammar issues, but focus on the principle and you'll do very well. So, memory systems, though, that I took out of the book, I didn't use all of them. The three that I think are the most applicable for dental school are the pencil list, the alphabet list, and the memory palace, or the method of Loci. He talks about other techniques, so if you want to remember people's faces or whatever, you can learn them, but by the book. So first technique was the pencil list, where you just associate the number with an object. So for number 1, I have pencil. Number 2, I have bicycle. 3, triangle. 4, table. So the pencil looks like the number 1, so pencil is number 1. Bicycle is number 2 because it has 2 wheels. Triangle has 3 points, so it's number 3. Number 4 is table because it has 4 legs. And then what you do is you associate with an object. So let's say for number 1 I got elephant. I would imagine a giant pencil drawing an elephant. My number 2 is bicycle. So let's say someone said apple for the second item on the list. And then I would say, oh, I just imagine this giant bicycle with 2 apples for wheels. And then what's cool about this is it's kind of a party trick. Someone can give you a list of 20 items, and you can say the number and the item as they listed it. So the next technique I did was the alphabet list, and you give a letter for an object. So you say A is apple, and you can use this for equations. I'm not going to go into it. Read a book on it. It's really simple. Next, I use memory palace and method of Loci, and I think this is the most important technique that I'm going to be using in dental school. And so what you do is you're supposed to associate a place with an object. So, for instance, I start in my bedroom, and in my bedroom I have my desk, my bed, my dresser. So, in order, I memorize my memory palace first, and then I go ahead and I'll associate like an object or an idea or concept with my desk, and then I just keep focusing on the idea and keep trying to layer the object so I can memorize all the facets of that object. And so I would just associated with it. And you don't really need to go into it. If you want to learn more about it, read more into it with a book or look it up online. My purpose is to document how well these techniques work. So my goal, again, I'm documenting how well these techniques work in school. I want to evaluate, see if these actually can improve my grades, and I want to receive feedback from you guys and see if maybe you have comments, suggestions to improve, improve my learning and possibly improve everybody else who's learning. So, all right, well, thank you everybody, and I will talk to you next week.